Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Duke CT, back with you once again. How you feeling? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. I hope you are had a great weekend and all that good stuff. And hope you're preparing yourself for a great weekend. I am having a good one going to Capital Collision this Saturday, and also I'm going to be, hopefully everything looks like according to plan to go to Vegas and everything else. Fingers crossed. That's all you can do. Positive thinking, people. Positive thinking. And let's see. Let's talk about. Well, let's get into Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor taping show. Watching of Honor and stuff. Let's talk about it. Let's give my thoughts to the whole show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. I can't get the full picture, but you can hear there's the first match with Mark Briscoe, Ari Daivari. Good stuff here. Was some good stuff from Mark Briscoe. Hopefully he's building himself up for another challenge to Samoa Joe. Maybe a little bit of something like maybe a fight with no honor or stuff like that. Maybe to get him this chance to be a TV champion again. That sort of thing could be really nice. I think that could be good. That could be really building himself up. He beats Daivari here, and they are building that stuff up. They're like, okay, they're taking out everybody from these the crew and all this stuff of the Trust Busters and varsity athletes and such. But yeah, it's nice, and FTR comes with a save. Next up, you had, let's see, Mike Bennett versus Darius Martin. Good stuff here. Darius impressive. Mike Bennett has improved immensely. Good stuff for both of these competitors. Match ends a disqualification when the Matt Taven came in and knocked around Darius Martin. But then lights, camera, action Andretti comes out and saves the day. And, well, I think there's going to be a tag team match next week, and hopefully I expect some good things between these two teams. Next up, you had Willie Yuta versus Hot Sauce Terry Williams. Good stuff here, nice little pure stuff back and forth. Love the corner DDT Tracy Williams at. Good stuff here. I loved it. Will Yuta still pressing, doing all these going to these very rough looking submissions and a bit of a crowd cheer. But I gotta say the crowd here was much better than last week. I mean, just a better showing overall. Everyone got I don't know if they did a little audio sweetening, but overall, this was a really good, I have to say, once again, good type of good. The crowd was really good. And I and everything else. Look at the news right now about Punk. I'll talk about that later. But right now, let's continue on with the review. If you want me to talk about it, all that good stuff. Might make a separate video about it and everything. I think I'll probably my full stance on it. But anyway, the rest of the show was good. Stu Grayson was good with Tony Nese. Both have good chemistry with each other. Action on point, and Stu Grayson hitting the nightfall with the victory. Tony's great win, but also looks like the Righteous, they want to recruit Stu and do something with the, helping with the Righteous. So I think the Dark Order are going to have a nice little tag feud with them for a while. Then we got another tag. This is a good tag. At the, Katsuyori Shibata with his trainee, Alex Coughlin, taking on the Workhorsemen. Good. This was a really good tag, really good tag match. Back and forth. Alex Coughlin just showed how strong he is. Not just picking him Anthony Henry from a bottom position and then picked him all the way up for a suplex and then deadlifting JD Drake, which was amazing. Good stuff. Alex Hall, but also because Sabata not just kicking I think Anthony Henry to get to his submission, but also kicking his tap parts. Hey man, get up, man. Fast, Bill, like, hey man, you gotta fire yourself up, that sort of thing. A little bit of tough love for the mentor. Good stuff overall. I like this just really good stuff here. Really good stuff. Let's see. Also, let's see. Another good one here. I think Sky Blue versus Kelly Maynard was decent. Women's matches were decent. Good stuff. Yeah, it was some Sky Blue looking. It was a decent match. Willow Nightingale and Little Mean Coughlin. Good stuff there. Willow Nightingale. Oh man, just really good stuff. And the Ian Riccaboni with the bars for Willow Nightingale coming out. Good stuff overall. I was highly entertained. Willow Nightingale with the win. And Proving Ground match, Ashley Demoise. I can't pronounce any name. I apologize. Athena, really surprisingly good match back and forth. I love Ashley's getting her moveset, all that. I thought for a quick second she might do an upset, but no, Athena came in and just dominated over and over again with the knees and everything and picked up the victory. And then afterwards, the interview segment, she just took her down again and saying if there's no real challenges, she's coming after I think she's like Lacey. I think she could come after her next. Like, I'm gonna get after you next if you don't give me a real challenge. And I don't know. Like I said, the real challenge, personally, I think the real challenge is for her, and the I think the real challenge would be like uh gosh Trisha Dora. That's why I'm saying Trisha Dora should be the one to take her down. Come on, ROH, do it. That'd be nice. I would really like it. But yeah, a fun show. But then we got to our main event: Metal League versus Claudio Castagnoli. Great stuff. Both guys have great chemistry, and really good stuff here. But also, I want to give a shout out to the interview of Eddie Kingston. He has to go to surgery, hernia surgery, and he takes responsibility, saying, "You know what? I lost like a man, and I need to know what I need to do. I need to keep moving forward." It's not there's not winning and losing. It's winning and learning. And I believe he's going to come back from this. Come back from it strong. Eddie Kingston will come back strong and become the number one contender. And I believe you know he will become the ROH World Heavyweight Champion. And when that does happen, people are going to be like, "Oh my goodness, I can't wait for that." I can't wait for Eddie Kingston because of the new world champion. And he was doing a hernia injury since September. And now he's going to take he's going to take surgery, you know, that sort of thing. It was a really good promo, and I just can't wait for Eddie Kingston to really continue on to be like that. And hopefully when he takes his surgery and comes 100% back, I can't wait to see him come back and take the title from Claudio. I can't wait. And then that's the show, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was some good stuff. I can't wait to see next week. And yeah, I can't wait to see the stuff from next week and all the other stuff there too. It's going to be a very fun and interesting show. And I can't wait to see what the next stuff is. I'm very I can't wait to see the next steps what Ring of Honor is going to do. And moving on, let's take a small little break here. And when we return, let's talk a little about Super Mario Brothers. Yes, we're gonna talk a little about Bing Bing Wahoo and everything else. We're gonna talk about the box office and everything else because there are some things. This was a uh, really one of the most biggest performances out there. And honest and heck, everything's looking good. But I'll tell you why they did it and my thoughts on what the next superhero, not super, I don't know, what the next video game movie that can hit those same notes as well. I'll be right back right after this here live on talkshoe.com. Thank you so much for joining me, Dukect. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect, humbled by every person who wants to sit back and chill with me on this Thursday evening. And, well, let's talk a little about Super Mario Brothers, the movie now, shall we? It has been one of the biggest um, openings for animated movie right now. It topped Frozen 2's record and basically the highest grossing video game movie debut, knocking down the Pikachu, Detective Pikachu and Sonic. So once again, Nintendo does what Sega doesn't, or whatever. Anyway, um, and also this just means that Frozen 3 is basically confirmed at this point. And oh Lord, what are they gonna do with that movie to basically come back and win that whole to take the crown away? Oh, because they pretty much have to, or they could just buy Illumination or something. Disney could do that because you know that sort of thing. It's basically one of the most successful movies and such. And I think the reason why of uh you know there's a lot of reasons, and this one right here. Looking at what it was, you see the push. They talk. This article says talking about Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Um, you know, there's been a lot of, you know, you know, animation has not been, mostly, most movies are family oriented movies have not targeted families and such. They've targeted like, you know, the action crowd or anything else. They've never really touched like, good old fashioned kids adventure film. Honestly, the last one was Puss in Boots. That was it, and it succeeded. But I think the reason why Super Mario Brothers movie was successful because one, Mario is much more of a well-known name now. They look like they took a lot of time with it and listened to the people behind the games and everything. I mean, the last time I do love Super Mario Brothers, the movie '93 movie. I thought it was a fun film, but I mean, they didn't really. I mean, looking at it, if they named it anything else, it's not a Super Mario Brothers movie. But this, they actually talked to Miyamoto. They talked to other people behind the scenes. They actually gave advice, listened to the people to say, "Hey, here's the games. Here's what we need to do," and made it as simple as possible. And I think that most these studios, they'll lost that. I think, for example, Shazam: Fury of the Gods could have been that nice little kids movie and such. Being that different part of the DCEU, but I think it's just corporate meddling and just bad marketing. I think the marketing in Mario Brothers was a lot better. Um, you know, that and this says too, there's too old for families. They're going for the young teen, the PG-13 crowd instead of the little kids crowd. And honestly, I think the reason why is just it's all samey. A lot of it is just this samey, the same type of movie structure, the MCU effect of these superhero stuff. Nothing has really came imagination wise. And there's been success in the MCU. I mean, let's be honest, last year, even though it's a bit muddled and everything else, the quality of these movies are, you can say, good and bad. Personally, I think, look at, say, Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. You look at the box office, which did good. It needed, it was fine. A lot of the box office did come back to it, but that sort of thing. And then you look at, like I said, look at all these other movies. I mean, Disney, the reason why Disney is in trouble is not because of the box office. It's because all that stupid buying, like Bob Iger's idiotic decision to buy Fox and that sort of thing. But I already talked about that, many times. But yeah, it's just when you look at all these movies and everything else, it's just there was a lot of love, there was a lot of time and care, and a relatable story. Chris Pratt for all of his everyone hated Chris Pratt, but man, he did a really good job at Mario. Princess Peach. Everyone the voice actor did a really good job. And they established these worlds and such. So I think Seth Rogen did a good job with DK, and I think that this movie is going to, Anna Taylor Joy did a good job as Princess Peach. I mean, Jack Black did a really good job as Bowser. Charlie Day did a good job Luigi. Wish there was more, and hopefully there's a Luigi's Mansion too. Yes, they need to be a Luigi's Mansion, and heck, this is success. I think there's going to be one. But I think the one thing I think there is they kept it simple. They let it for everybody to get involved. They let like, hey, this is a family film. It's a family movie. It's a good time. It was a nice, easy time for people to go out and have a good time to watch and to enjoy themselves. And honestly, if I really wanted to be thinking about it, you could do that with a lot of like I said, Nintendo franchises have a lot of that. I mean, if they Kirby could probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they could do a Kirby movie and do the same thing. Kirby could be just doing the same thing as well. Kirby could be that way. You could, I think, Star Fox could be not as big of a hit, but also could be like that type of family free thing crowd too. Like I said, plenty of Nintendo franchises. I think that's what made Sonic into a did not cross the adults. They made it like silly, and I worry what Sonic 3 is going to be. But yeah, I worry about that. But if they bring in Shadow, I'm a little bit worried about that. But when I look at the stuff that I market and everything, I think there's a huge prime real estate of that as well, of being for kids, for entertainment, and building up something that like, wow, this is really nice. This is really good. You know, and relatable characters. Let's see, looking at you know, looking at stuff here, and I think they could easily jump into that as well. I can't wait for that. It's gonna be really. I can't wait to see more of that. But also, I think there could be other games and such like that. I think there could be. I think Earthworm Jim could. I don't know what they're doing with Earthworm Jim now, but I think that would be really good if they bring that back. Um, there's like I said, there's plenty of good family type of games out there made just for that. I mean, right now, I think some good indie games. I mean, Undertale, if they really did it right, you could easily have a good, solid 1980s feel to that type of if they really did it right. I mean, Undertale, maybe Celeste, all these type of games that have like that emotional core and such. That sort of thing. You can have emotional core with that type of characters and everything like that. You could and Legend of Zelda as well. I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't. If this works, I think they will probably have a Legend of Zelda film, and not be an April Fool's joke by what I think it was IGN or something. I don't know, years ago. Hopefully, one day they actually say we'll do an Legend of Zelda type of movie or something like that. A good sword and sorcery movie is needed. I think it's needed. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons proved that there is an audience for that. But I think something like that could be really good. Me personally, let me just get this here. I truly think Xenoblade, for example, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Xenoblade Chronicles. I will always say Xenoblade Chronicles. Let me just get this here. Put this. All right. All right, right here. We just I truly believe Xenoblade Chronicles, if they play it right, could be one of the big franchises, a new Lord of the Rings franchise. If any movie studio does this right, it could be that way. And talk about big themes of revenge. First game, second game about survival, about the planet, you know crumbling around you, and war and everything else. You know that sort of thing. You can talk about it. Endless war for the third game, and how two sides need to stop it and all that connects to it. That's like a 9 movie arc. Heck, I don't even talk about Xenoblade Chronicles X. You could easily put that as a series or something like that. Put that on a streaming service. Just have them basically having a ship crash into this alien world. And you have to survive with the local flora and fauna. Not just that, but also aliens. There's stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. I truly believe that. There's stuff there. And I think that I truly believe if you put that out there, my heart of hearts is that you put that out there, you will you will see some really good, um, not just I hate to say content, but I think that there's not just content, but also some really good, stories, stuff that could be told in this huge and like really good environment. If you could do it right, you could have that huge epic. Like I truly believe it. I mean, this is, you can say right now, it could be their Iron Man. I mean, you could say this is it, the MCU type of thing. Or maybe if we want to go for comic book references, this is the Super Mario Brothers movie right here is Superman back in 1979. That type of genre defying, like, wham, right there. And what is needed is the Batman 89. Uh, and I don't think uh, they don't have that yet. And I truly think that this could be that Batman 89, that type of, like, oh, wow, this sets up everything. This could be, you look at maybe, if this Xenoblade Chronicles thing, or maybe you can look back at Xenoblade, the first game or something like that, and have that, look and maybe that to a TV series or movie or something that could be really good to be talked about. I think that could be the case if they know how to do it right. And I, in my heart of heart, believe that this could be done right. And if it is done right, you will see, the video game. I think it will push aside the comic books at least. I think it would be. I think it would be a refresher because these video game movies, for the most part, are different. They're not just different, but they're you know they're different genres, like they're not in that same comic era, they're not in the same, like, what's a comic book movie and everything else. It's looks like to be something you can easily um you can easily do, you can easily just like say, hey, we're in this other world. Oh, we're in here. And it's not in this connective. You can sit back and watch something that's not in the comic book realm, but you know, it's like it feels like maybe you're looking back at movies being different and different genres of films that you can be like, wow, it's not this comic book blandness and such, and really give like, wow, you know what? This gives a more like, a diversity in movies again. I want to see more diversity in movies again. And I'm not talking about like, I would like to see more diversity in, black characters and all that stuff, but it's just diversity is in the genres and not all tied to just the same comic book big MCU, DCU comic book stuff. I'm a fan of them, but I think you need a break once in a while. They need a big, huge break once in a while. And the old saying goes, absence makes the heart go fonder. And I think that if you have that, a way of having an absence go fonder, people will be like, hey, you know what? We start to miss it and maybe do movies that are more one note instead of this trying to do a tapestry and everything, which, people need to move on, you know? That sort of thing. And I think that at the end of the day, if you do that, you can, you know, you can, yeah, you can actually have these characters to be memorable. And like I said, Xenoblade Chronicles. I mean, what happened? When was the last time you had an epic quest movie, an epic Lord of the Rings type of movie with different characters, different people coming together from different colonies, different kingdoms, and everything else? It would be nice to see. Wouldn't that be great to see, ladies and gentlemen, an actual different, something like fantastical worlds instead of this CGI stuff? Which, I mean, if I was head of these like studios, so like I would just be like, we're doing this practical. We're gonna do practical effects and maybe do the same the stuff from the Batman, which I really like. Get the people who did the Batman do stuff like Xenoblade Chronicles. Like if they look at like the areas and seeing how big, like see, gosh, what's the thing where let's see I gotta know where Melly. Oh my gosh, just where is it? She's Alchemoth, Alchemoth, or something like that. Alchemoth. You have him like when the royalty, you have that big screen of like reveal, like say her, with her brother looking down, like stuff like that. I think you could do something like that. The Napons, well, they can be CGI. Some can be CGI, but maybe a little bit of practical too. A little practical, a little CGI will be really nice. I think I want to lessen the effect of VFX and everything. Uh, but that's just me. I think you need to more different genres and keep the stories as simple as possible. And if you do that, I believe you will have a much more successful. And I truly believe this. You'll have more of a success than more successes like Mario and everything else. That's what I see here. That's what I believe will hear. If this will bring in, I just hope that they will continue to have video game movies can be successful and different genres and all that type of stuff. and tell these stories that are different but also fun to get into. And if it's a child type story, let it be a simple thing. And hopefully Nintendo goes and says mess around and makes a Kirby thing just to really piss off all those film geeks anyway. Like, oh, I want to deep. I dare you to do that, but with Kirby or whatever. And if you want to build up to something serious, then do a Metroid. Then you can maybe do a Star Fox or a Zelda or something like that with more deeper story and everything. If you want to do it. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, we're going to take a small break here. We're going to talk about, once again, old Vinny Mac. And, well, not only that he's back, but a lot of fans are still trying to cope. Well, I'll get my thoughts about that and more live here on the Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this here on TalkShoe.com and on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to me, Dukect TV. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Me, Duke CT, back with you once again. And here we are, once again, talking about Vinny Mac. You know, it's not really a surprise or anything else. Talking about Vince and, all this stuff that's going on and just, all the things. I mean, just remember that he, all the stuff about what he did and all the other things. He wants to make mistakes and move on, and all these other things that he should have been held accountable for, but was not really held accountable for, paying off all of his sexual deviances with company money, all that type of stuff. And, you know, all the other things that are slowly happening that fans have been dreading for. The dread of it. And I just look at all of these things and I just sit back and I sit there looking you know you know it's just huh, it's not really surprising. It's not really surprising that this man is still going to be, and yet fans are trying to cope, trying to do all the side coping and everything else, and I am sick of it. I am sick of this type of the coping and all the things that are begging and all the stuff. They're like, oh, come on, man, Triple H. Oh my gosh, he's cooked. No, the show is over. It's done. Vince is back in control. He's gonna be here, and you can tell when you look at this right here. Night of King of the Ring pre-event. The King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring premium live event has been rebranded as right now the WE next Saudi Arabian based premium live event, Night of Champions. That's what it's called, Night of Champions. And yeah, because it will be right there in Saudi Arabia. So all the belts will be on the line, right? All the championship belts on the line. So that pretty much means, ladies and gentlemen, Sammy and Kevin Owens' championship reign is going to be over by WWE Backlash. It's over. You're going to have the WWE Backlash. That's going to go back to them because Sammy and Kevin does not want to, work in Saudi Arabia. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Because people were cheering for him. They do like Sammy. The fan base does like Sammy, so maybe this will be he might show up. That could happen. Who knows? But I'm betting I give him an 80 to 95% that he's their championship run is over, and we're gonna be right back to the the bloodline holding all the belts again, and Roman having over 1,000 days, and then maybe Cody getting another shot, which is just so goddamn pathetic. And I'm like, it's too late. It's too late, ladies and gentlemen. It's too late in the day. And now, when I look at this, not only that, but you know, all the other things that the King of the Ring is not going to be, probably not going to be on the show. It's already been gone. And the Queen of the Ring, which, by the way, I love the fact they had the Queen of the Ring. They were building up, and I love the fact they used Charlotte's voice. I remember for promo of it, and she was nowhere near the tournament. Nowhere. And I love Selena Vega. She is the personality, all that stuff, and she's great. But come on now, come on now, come on. It was Charlotte Flair should have been the first queen in the ring, or set up like she does it and build up someone else. She ain't gonna be there forever. Why not have Piper Niven or y'all Dewdrop or whatever she was called, or maybe Selena Vega. I don't know. But it was wrong to me. That was stupid and wrong to not have her be a part of that tournament. It just bothers me when then you're still using her voice to say "Oh hell to the queen" when using a tournament, and yet she's nowhere near the tournament. It doesn't that bothers me. That just really is just this fake, stupid type of you know that type of deception and everything. I don't like that, and it's gonna keep getting worse. And I feel bad for the guys and gals there, but you knew what they were going into. Vince is there, and I like the fact that he did sign a not like non harassment policy. Ooh, they got him now. No, they won't. It's a company that just let Dana White slap his wife multiple times, and yeah, he's like his. I gotta look this up one more time. I gotta see this. Let's see, because I need to see. Let's see. I gotta look at this one more time. Where is that? Um, because I know the story is here. If I can find it, because I still can't believe that was said about Dana White, and I want to remind people about that. About there it is. Where is it? Um, 'cause I remember. Yeah, he wasn't punished. Ah, here it is. Ah, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I found the stuff here. Where is it? If I can find, let's see if I can. Right here. Oh, here's the response of all these things. What should the consequences be? You tell me. I take 30 days off. How does that hurt me? I told you guys whenever we're going to COVID can last 10 years. I can set out what would be the problem. And it's like COVID, actually. Me leaving hurts the company, hurts my employees, hurts the fighters. It doesn't hurt me. I could have left in 2016, he continued. Do I need to reflect? No, I don't need to reflect. Next morning, when I wake up, you know what I mean? I've been against this. I've owned this, and I'm telling you that I'm wrong. But listen, we've had plenty because internally with Ari, ESPN, nobody's happy. Nobody's happy about this, neither am I. But it happened. They have to deal with it. What's my punishment? Here's my punishment. I get to walk around forever how I like, but it's 10.4 years or not 12 years, and this is how I am labeled now. My other punishment is that I'm sure a lot of people, whether it be media, fighters, friends, acquaintances who have respect for me, might not have respect for me now. There's a lot of things that I'm going to have to deal with the rest of my life that are way more of a punishment than what I take a 30-day or 60-day absence. That's no punishment for me. The punishment is that I did it and now I have to deal with it. Holy crap. There it is. That's such of a woo. There it is. And this person is right there, buddy with Vinny Mac with his Endeavor and WWE contract. Isn't that fun? I'm not going to keep reminding you this stuff because these are the people, you got to keep reminding. I got to keep your head, knocked, like this is the stuff that these Ari Emanuel and everything else who, he talked all big and bad, like saying all the stuff about, Kyrie Irving and his stuff on Instagram. What he linked to that stuff here. He talked about Kanye. He talked about what Kanye and all this, the crazy, all the stuff he was saying about Jewish people. He had words to say, but when this, with Art Emanuel and then Vincent Mann and stuff, all the smoke he had, he was silent. He is silent without this. And this is the cult of continuing non the cult of non-consequences of these people who just believe there's no consequences for these actions. You know? It's and I want to continue this whole Vinny Mac is back stuff. The Vinny Mac is back, and he has a great people right here, once again, this here, they have WE and Endeavor and UFC. They fit perfectly. They fit so well, don't they, ladies and gentlemen? They fit well with each other. And that is what it is. It's not surprising. And there's still, and people will be like, well, maybe he did learn his lessons. And I sit there like, no, he has not learned a lesson. There have never been, there is no punishment for people like Vince McMahon, Dana White, and the people who are supposed to hold him accountable are usually quiet, or they are just forgotten about. This is the issue, and it will never, and I honestly believe it will never change, because people in this country, for a reason, and we all know the reason why, they some men, mostly white men, get away with goddamn murder, are just harassing and destroying lives and everything else under the sun, and they get pass after pass, and it's sickening and it's disturbing. But yet, you have all the culture warriors, and we can call it out to the cows come home. But until there is punishment for these people, until there is actually punishment, there's not going to be any real recourse. There's not going to be any real, oh, we finally got him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But that's just it, and I have this sickening, and I hate, the one thing I actually hate about all of this is that the fans, when he comes back, these same people who will, the same people who were talking all this smoke about everything else, the same damn people who are like, oh, we're not going to, everything else. You know what they do? They're going to be like there saying, thank you, Vince. And they're going to be doing, secondly, going to be like, well, giving like, singing around, basically doing this hot, like being on hot potato, saying, is Vince there? Is Vince not there? He's here or not? He's here or not? Waiting to see their scripts getting ripped apart and everything else sitting there immediately. I'm like, this is what you're going to do. This is your fandom. Fandom is short for fanatic, and well, you have to be a fanatic to basically still be a WWE's fan base and such. Like I said, I haven't watched a full Raw in years, and I'm happy. I haven't watched a full SmackDown in that same time period over years. I see bits and pieces. I haven't seen full NXT since probably 2018. I got off the NXT bandwagon. I got off on a lot of bandwagons, ladies and gentlemen, and I've moved on. And I believe the best solution for the fan base is, if you are still watching, just move on. I think that's the best healthy decision for you. Because if you continue to support this, if you continue to be in this position, if you continue to just sit and just do the same thing I felt like when back in 2017, I was just like, I was exhausted. I just didn't want to watch anymore. And I just stopped watching, and I felt better. I felt a lot better by watching things that actually I enjoy than just doing this hate watching stuff. I mean, maybe you like videos and you like to say this gets your views, and if it's your job, I'm like, hey, everyone has to make their job somewhere doing something like that, It's hey, talking about this WWE or Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW, or whatever. If you don't like it, you got to talk about it. It's your job. It's your job. I would suggest you can find something, but everyone's struggling right now, so I'm like, okay, talk about it. But if you're doing this as a hobby or something like that, and you're trying to do all this stuff, I'm like, no, man. I mean, I'm gonna try to look for things I like. Go watch things I like. I'm about doing this because this is big news, and I want to get my full thoughts on this. But I think right now, WE and everything else. Yeah, what's up, G Nation? Exactly. That's why you talk to some people. I mean, I'm in that same boat. I haven't watched a full Raw in years. I usually stream. It's either, first it used to be this show, and then I use playing some games and such. And let me tell you, it's a lot more fun than watching segment after boring segment and after just terrible segment over and over and over and over and over again. It's just, I mean, it could drive you crazy. It could drive you insane. So I just sit back and not, I'll be like, hey, you know what? You know what? It's best to just go and look at stuff. There's other good stuff out there. Like I said, the video games. Talk about Super Mario. That thing is like, play one of those games. There's rarely a bad Mario game out there. Have fun with that. Xenoblade Chronicles. Go down and watch that. Play that. It's great. Story is fun. The gameplay is fun. Most of the beginnings are a little dry, but let me tell you something. Even the worst of it, and I do like the worst beginning of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's a bad start. But my goodness, that bad start pales in comparison to most Monday Night Raws, for more often than not. At least there's actually characters you want to root for and like. I mean, remember that? Remember actually watching and caring for people that are good? So we're like, man, stuff is a little bit mid or whatever, but I like these people. I want to see where this story ends up. Like I said, do stuff that actually makes you feel good. You have too much. There's not enough time in the day. Too much. People are begging, like saying, well, there's a JD New York or whatever, like saying, Boss Man Hunt. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. Stop this. Get some dignity for yourself. Stop watching. Go somewhere. Do something else. There are tons of things you can do. There's go camping. Go outside. Do something. Do something that will make you feel better. If this is going to be your end. But that's just my personal opinion. Could be wrong. Could be you want to like this stuff. Go right ahead. Love it. That's you. That's okay. But for me, and I did G Nation 23 and all that stuff, we can take it and leave it. We're like, see, you know what? Have fun. We'll see. We'll poke your heads in on Twitter. See what's going on there. Until then, we're going to be good. I'm good, actually. So, yeah, I'm having fun watching, doing things that make me feel better. And honestly, the hate stuff, yeah, I was part of my life once before, but I've moved on. And I think that's most people, fans, need to do that. And I believe in doing that as well. Thank you so much for watching and being here with me, Dukect CT, this evening on the Dukect CT Lounge. Thank you for watching. Big stuff planned this year. Positive movements and everything else. And I can't wait till you all will be there with me. Until next time, peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.